Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and in this video I'm going to be giving myself 3 goals to try and achieve next week when pushing keys on my tanks in Mythic Plus. So, if you'd like to watch any of the videos or any of the keys I do, I'm trying my best to upload them without commentary to my channel. They are going to be unlisted, but I will be putting them into the appropriate public playlists on my channel. I don't know if you'll be able to watch the videos from those playlists or not, but I'm trying. If you guys can't, whatever, I guess I'll try and figure it out or something. If word gets around to me or something, I don't know how this works. But anyways, let's actually get into it. So I've given myself already 3 things that I want to work on. My main defensive usages, my big cooldown usages, as well as turning my back to the mobs. So for the first thing, let's go ahead and actually get into a key to talk about some of this so I could actually show you. Alright, so here we are. This is a 6 Necrotic Wake from a Prot Warrior perspective. Let's see here if I can back this up to where the poll I'd like to show. Alright, so here we are. You can see, I believe, let's back this up a little bit more. Shield block, or if you look in the center of the screen, you'll see my personal resource display, and above it you'll see 2 auras. The one on the left is Ignore Pain, the one on the right is Shield Block, I believe it is. And as you can see, they're about to fall off. They do. And it's going to take a long time before I reapply Shield Block. As you can see, I'm spending the rage on Ignore Pain. Now, from what I understand, this pack actually does deal quite a bit of physical damage, so I should be keeping that shield block uptime 100% here, but I'm failing that. Now, this tank isn't the only one that I'm having this problem on with my main defensives. I'm also having this problem on my Vengeance Demon Hunter and my Protection Paladin, which is the most egregious of them, but is not the most punishing. Vengeance is definitely the most punishing for lapsing defensives. But to help me with the Protection Warrior at least, I made a weak ward to track my Ignore Pain amount, so I know when I can be adding into my Ignore Pain. And as far as shield block goes, I'm just going to have to be more mindful. I don't want to make a weak aura for it because I want to come to that ability on my own to be able to just refresh it and know when I need to. And I want to be able to do that without thinking or without relying on something else. Now here, going into this poll, this actually moves into the second point of big cooldowns. So let's go ahead and make this full screen here, and if we look down at the bottom, you can see that my Last Stand is on cooldown, and my Shield Wall is on cooldown. Now this is because 2 polls before this, right after the poll, right after the first boss, I just sent both of them, which is a huge mistake. So let's back up we're at about 224 right now, so let's go back to, is this about right? This poll right here, let's see if you guys we can get it to a point where you can actually see better which poll we're actually about to make. So this poll right here. This poll I send both Last Stand and Shield Wall, which is a huge mistake because it's pretty much mostly physical damage in this poll. I believe it's only about like 3, maybe 2.5 casters, depending on what you think of that Bone Mage or whatever they're called. Which means that these overall damage reductions like Last Stand and Shield Wall aren't necessary at all, especially when we have in 2 polls after this that Ner'zhul poll, which will actually deal quite a bit of damage, as you'll see here in a second. So you see I don't have anything. I'm even failing to use Ignore Pain. I'm failing to manage my shield block uptime. Right before I died, if we look down at the bottom, I don't know how to get rid of this stupid screen thing, but either way, you'll just have to trust me. My Impending Victory was off cooldown, and my AoE Interrupt was off cooldown. And it looks like even my Spell Reflect might have been as well. Oh, it looks like it was about to come off cooldown. Or, yeah. So maybe not Spell Reflect, but the other 2 definitely were. So I was just failing everything, and it would have been a great help if I was able to go into that with Last Stand and Shield Wall. Now, this usage of big cooldowns is something that I'm having problems with as well on Guardian Druid, Protection Paladin, and Blood Death Knight. Both Guardian and Blood Death Knight and Prot Warrior because I'm just simply sending them on cooldown wherever I can, and that's causing issues like this where now I'm running into the packs where I need them and I don't have them available. As far as Protection Paladin goes, that one's actually just me not even pushing the button sometimes. Sometimes I'm holding on to it for a really long time, or I'm even going into a pull without any defensives on the Protection Paladin. So I think overall, for all of them, I just need to start becoming more aware of what packs deal what kind of damage. So that way when I do get into it, I have the appropriate CDs. Or when I see that that pull's coming up in 1 or 2 pulls, I can know to hold on to certain CDs for it. Now for the next one, the last and final one, turning my backs to the mobs. This one's actually only a problem on 2 tanks, the Vengeance Demon Hunter and the Blood DK. And I'll actually just go ahead and load up one of them for you to check out. Alright, so here we are. This is going to be, well, a Necrotic Wake here, but it's just going to be this first pull that I really want to showcase this on. Let's see if we could skip ahead to when it actually starts. Oh, wow, okay. Skipped pretty far ahead. So right here you can see I get aggro, I'm in my pre-meta, the meta wears off, and here I am. I just run past them with my back to them, and as you can see, I end up half health in just that half a second it takes for them to melee me. And then I jump into the next pull here, I throw a glaive, and I immediately turn my back to them. They all hit me again, all of them, even the first pack, and now I'm down to like 30% health, or 40% health I should say. It's just awful. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, what was going on, or why I even did that, but it is a problem, and it's definitely a problem for this tank as well as my Blood Death Knight. Blood Death Knight, the reason why that was happening was because I was panicking. I basically was misplaying my Death Knight, and I got moved by a mechanic, and yeah, anyways. But it's still a problem nonetheless, so I'd need to be a lot more aware of positioning, especially on these 2 tanks since they fall over, which, as you can see, another fine example of me failing to... What the heck? Come on, man. I'm trying to skip ahead just like 5 seconds. My main defensive usage, you see it falls off here, and it's off for several seconds. I almost die. In fact, actually I do. Clock cheat death here. But yeah, it's a huge problem. And let's see here. I think that is about it. First defensive main thing. Already made weak ores for a lot of the kind of secondary defensives like Ignore Pain and Consecration. I just want to be more mindful as far as the main defensives go, like Shield Block and Demon Spikes and things like that. As far as cooldowns go, I just need to be aware. As far as Vengeance Demon Hunter or getting hit in the back, don't panic. Use mobility to get past the mobs, make sure my character is actually facing an appropriate direction. But yeah, my overall notes here is I think most of these mistakes are just coming from me being unfamiliar with each spec and only playing them such a very small amount. So I think the way to fix that is just by keep playing and reviewing the footage just to make myself aware of the problems. There's actually kind of a third note I'll add here, but we'll talk about the second one here. The second one is before I even get into the first key of the week, I should probably spend like 5 minutes on the training dummies where I'm just pushing all of my buttons. My main rotational buttons, my big defensives, my utility, everything. Just start pushing it all, get myself familiar with it. And the third thing I'd like to add is just to look at this note sheet before I play each one, just to remind myself of what my issues are. Because, and this at the bottom here, isn't it? Like I actually went through and kind of took as many notes as that I thought were reasonable for each one. And then down here at the bottom is what I just kind of aggregated for this video. But yeah, I think those are the problems I'm facing, what I'm doing wrong, or the biggest things I'm doing wrong that will make my life a lot easier and make healers a lot happier with me. So I think that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the future. Bye for now.